In this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways you can change the sound of an electric guitar to make it sound like you're using pedals and effects without using pedals and effects. The first pro tip is that you can do what a wah-wah pedal does with the tone knob on your guitar. All you got to do is turn the tone knob all the way down and then roll it up with your pinky finger right at the beginning of every note you play. So right on the onset of when you play, you want to roll the tone knob from minimum to higher than minimum. And this will be easier to do if your tone knob is the kind where most of the big difference occurs towards the bottom of the range of the knob. Not every tone knob is like that, but if yours is like that, this will be less hard work. And I should also say that the first person I ever heard talk about this trick was Danny Gatton. I'm not saying he invented it, I'm just saying that's where I got it. Take 3. The next pro tip is that you can make it sound like you're playing backward by using the volume knob on your guitar. This is sort of similar to the first pro tip in that what you got to do is turn your volume down and then roll it up again on the onset of every note so that it sounds like a note fading out backward. That's what you want to do to the onset of your notes. But that alone actually won't sound backward. It'll also help if you do a lot of pre-bending and reverse bending. And then also it'll help if you could just sort of internalize the feel and the timing of what backward guitar playing sounds like. For instance, by listening to a lot of Jimi Hendrix records and absorbing the sort of like slidey, haphazard quality that backward playing has. If you could just sort of learn to speak with that accent while doing the other stuff I said, your guitar playing will sound reversed. I had to teach myself to do this for making this video, and in my opinion, it's the hardest thing in this video. But if you want to see someone do it really well, look up Eric Johnson's cover of Are You Experienced? The guitarist Guthrie Govan wrote a book, and I have it. It's called Creative Guitar, Advanced Techniques. This is volume 2. And in it, he talks about various ways to make your guitar sound like a different instrument. I think the coolest one is making your guitar sound like a Koto, which you can do by picking every note right up close to where your hand is fretting it. Like, get your pick as close to the actual fret as possible, and then also pre-bend every note sharp, and then release it right as you pick it. If you do that, your guitar won't sound like a guitar. The next pro tip is something I got from the ads for St. Vincent's Masterclass. I've never taken her masterclass, but I have seen the ads for it. And one thing she gives away in the ads is sticking a paperclip in between the strings of your guitar. I spent some time with this, and I think the best way to do it is to put the paperclip so that it's like covering the low strings most and then doesn't quite reach all the high strings. If you do that and then you like arpeggiate chords, the chords will sort of have this like tapered jangle quality that's very cool. The last pro tip is something I heard Mac DeMarco talk about once, which is that he said he used to get sort of like a quick and dirty synthesizer sound by recording an individual note on his guitar and then using software to like do a brute force edit where he just cut off the beginning of the note and cut off the end of the note. So there was just the middle part of his note. And if you do that, the note will actually be hard to recognize as a guitar note. Now, you do need to use software to do this pro tip, but you can do it with free software. You can do it with GarageBand. You could do it with any free audio software you could ever possibly find that's free. It will be able to do this. All you got to do is record one note and then slice off the beginning and slice off the end. But then, if you want to keep going, you can copy and paste that note and put it in different tracks and make each different track a different pitch shift so that now you can write lines with that note and write parts with that note. And it's going to have a very sort of like brute force quality, but if you put bass and drums under it, it'll sound cool. It'll have this kind of in-your-face power that I think of as being like a Nine Inch Nails trademark.